The 38th annual SummerSlam takes place this Saturday and Sunday, making it the first SummerSlam to be a two-night event. This show will take place in East Rutherford, New Jersey at MetLife Stadium. This is the third event to be held at that venue after it previously hosted both WrestleMania 29 and 35. Now, let me get this out of the way. I really don't care about Cardi B. I really wish she wasn't a part of the show. She wasn't hosting SummerSlam. I personally hope WWE has a falling out with her like they did with Travis Scott. And I'm currently watching Unreal. I will be reviewing it later this week, so be on the lookout for that. Now, a couple other notes. I do wish Damian Priest and Aleister Black were on this show. I think that'd actually be a very good match. They can have a hard-hitting match. I would have liked to see it part of the show. Unfortunately, it's going to be on SmackDown, as will Julia's match as she defends her United States Women's Championship against Zelina Vega, which is her first title defense. I know that's not a huge match. Zelina Vega, the SummerSlam match with Julia isn't a huge match. I would have liked to see Julia featured on the show, but she will also be on SmackDown. There's only 6 matches for each night. They could use at least one more. 7 is a solid show for both nights are going to be long shows. I mean, 7 matches is good. 6 seems too little in my opinion. So let's get off with night 1. We have Karrion Kross with Scarlett in his corner taking on Sami Zayn. I'm worried about Kross' status in the company. I hope he doesn't leave. I get the feeling that Sami will win because they're building him up for a major win at WrestleMania where he'll probably win the World Heavyweight Championship. I don't know where Kross goes from here, but I do think he's going to lose. Next, we got Randy Orton and Jelly Roll taking on Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul. We'll see what happens with Drew and his passport. I assume he's going to be at the show. I think if he wasn't, we'd have heard more things by now. The Miz was campaigning to take his spot if Drew can't make it. I'm thinking to myself, that's a huge downgrade. No offense to the Miz, but going from Drew McIntyre to the Miz, and that just kills the match to me because now I know there's about a 0% chance that Logan and Miz would win. I still think they're going to lose. I do think Randy Orton and Jelly Roll are going to win. I think that's pretty obvious. It should be an entertaining match. I think we might see a splash from Jelly Roll onto Logan Paul, which will be funny. We'll see what Jelly can do. Hopefully Randy and Drew or Randy and Logan just wrestle most of the match to keep him out. But I don't know why this really needs to be on the show. But Jelly Roll and Randy Orton, I think, get the win. Next, we go to Roman Reigns and Jey Uso taking on Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed with Paul Heyman in their corner. So I have to say, the angle on Raw, the main event angle, was excellent. Reigns versus Breaker will be a big match in the future. The crowd will be really hot for this. Roman Reigns is going to be very over, but I also think Braun Breaker is going to be over. Jey Uso's over. Even though I personally am not the biggest fan. If you watch my videos, you know that. And Bronson Reed, I think he can get the tsunami over. This should be a really hot crowd. And in my opinion, I think this is the best match to kick off the show with. I think this would be a good opener, really hot opener, probably the second biggest match of the whole show. I think the Raw angle was set up to give the heels a lot of heat and give them something before they eventually lose, which will happen. Roman Reigns and Jey Uso are going to win this match. Next, we go to the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships, the Judgement Day. Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez, who have come together as a very good team since Liv Morgan's injury. They defend their titles against Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. Now, this match, I think this is probably the hardest match to predict on the night 1 show. There might be a couple matches that are harder on night 2, but this is tough because I know Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair will become women's champions. I just don't know if it happens on this show. There's an argument to be made, I'm sure creative, as I've seen on the Unreal show, I'm sure we're having this conversation right now, that they should have Alexa and Charlotte win, just not now. They can keep it going. This is a good feud. Both Charlotte's doing really well with Alexa as a partner. Alexa's also doing well.
There's an argument to be made that they should extend the chase so when they win, it's an even bigger deal and they can keep the storyline going. And, Raquel and Roxanne are actually excelling as a team. I actually think they're a better team right now than Liv and Raquel were. I think Raquel just is better with Roxanne for some reason. Maybe it's because she can take the leadership position with Roxanne where she can't with Liv. And I can see an argument, let's keep the belts on them. Eventually, Charlotte and Alexa can just win in Paris. I think that's a good argument. And I think there's about a 49% chance that happens. But here's why I'm picking Alexa and Charlotte. Alexa is super over. She's probably the second most over woman in terms of crowd reactions behind Rhea Ripley. Charlotte is also very over with the fans. And I think because this is SummerSlam, they might want to put the belts on them here. Roxanne, on the other side for the champs, Roxanne has a very, very, very bright future. And Raquel has been improved a lot. She's been doing a lot better with Roxanne than she did with Liv. I think because it's SummerSlam, if this wasn't SummerSlam and this was another PLE, I think Raquel and Roxanne would win. But because it's SummerSlam, I think I'm going to give the slight edge to Charlotte and Alexa to win their belts and become champions. And I think this has just been a very good pairing. In many ways, it's saved Charlotte Flair because she was dead in the water before this. People didn't want to see her, and this has just reinvigorated her. It's almost given her career a new life in a way. So I think Alexa and Charlotte are your new champs on Saturday. Next, we go to the WWE Women's Championship. Tiffany Stratton defends the belt she's had now for 7 months against the Queen of the Ring, Jade Cargill. So it does seem a lot of the negativity I've seen online towards Jade has faded recently. Tiffany seems like she has a lot less to do over the past couple of months. She's feuded with Nia, and then she's feuded with Jade, and then the thing with Trish just came together at the last second, like a week before Evolution or something. And then with Jade, they've interacted with each other a little bit. Here's the thing. I think a few weeks ago, I thought Tiffany had to win because Jade just seemed like she was she had no momentum, mainly because she was getting lukewarm fan reactions, and it just seemed like she was too green for this. She's gone better the last couple of weeks. I feel like some of the negativity has died down towards her. And for Tiffany, I feel like she might be better chasing for a while. I think she's had the belt for a while. I don't think you want to have her become too stale as champion. And also, WWE needs to protect the Queen and King of the Ring tournament winners. They had Nia Jax win the belt last year at SummerSlam from Bayley. For the men, they had Gunther win the World Heavyweight title from Damian Priest. I think this year they should continue it. I'll get to the Cody Rhodes-John Cena match much later in the review, in my predictions. But right now, I think Jade Cargill is going to defeat Tiffany Stratton. I think it makes sense for her to win here, and I believe that she will. So, Jade Cargill, I believe she will be your new WWE Women's Champion at SummerSlam. Next, the World Heavyweight Championship on the line. Gunther defends his title against CM Punk. This match should be great. It's a tough one to predict. I'd personally prefer Gunther. I'd like to see him retain the belt. It was supposed to happen at Mania, then Michael P.S. Hayes, or maybe I should call him Michael B.S. Hayes, suggested Jey Uso win the fucking Rumble, and look how that turned out. Man, one of the worst champions in modern memory. He's awful. Jey Uso sucked as champion. Fuck off, P.S. Seriously, I'm pissed off at you. You killed the build for that. Anyway, Gunther tapped out to Jey at Mania, and that's hurt him, I think. He still gets a "you tapped out" chance. I don't think he'll tap out to CM Punk, but I do think he's going to lose the title. I'm predicting CM Punk to defeat Gunther and win the World Heavyweight Championship, but his title reign will only last a few minutes, as I am also predicting another World Heavyweight Championship match. CM Punk will now defend the championship that he just won against Seth Rollins, who will cash in his Money in the Bank. I think the injury he suffered against LA Knight at Saturday Night's Main Event was a work. I think he will cash in Money in the Bank. Heyman's been holding it on to him. We've heard nothing about his injury status. We've heard nothing about it. I think it's a work. I think this is part of a storyline. And I think after CM Punk wins, he will be cashed in on by Seth Rollins. So I'm predicting Seth Rollins to cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase and win the World Heavyweight Championship. I think it happens on this night. This could happen on night 2. I'll say this. There's a good chance this happens on night 2. It's a strong possibility, but I think it happens on night 1. I think it's more likely. I think Rollins cashes in on Saturday. Next, we go to night 2 of SummerSlam. First, the Intercontinental Championship is on the line. Dominic Mysterio defends his title against AJ Styles. So I think this should be all right. I think Dom will retain the title in heelish fashion. Finn Balor and JD McDonagh will interfere, and Dom will get like a heel roll-up win. So I think Dom retains. Next, we go to the Women's Intercontinental Championship, defended in a no disqualification, no count-out, last chance match. Becky Lynch defends her title against Lyra Valkyria, who is on her last chance. This is the last chance for Lyra, so as long as Becky is IC champion, Lyra cannot challenge for the belt. So I originally had Lyra winning the title. I really thought she'd beat Becky at SummerSlam, especially after she beat Bayley. So it was a decisive win for Bayley in that 2 out of 3 falls match on Raw a few weeks ago. Now she's going to SummerSlam. She did lose to Becky at Money in the Bank, but she beat her the first time at Backlash. Now it makes sense. Becky puts over her fellow Irish woman. Lyra wins. She beats Bayley, and she wins the feud, and she regains her Women's Intercontinental Championship. Now, I think there's a reason this is a no DQ match. Now I understand. I was thinking, why would they make it no DQ? They already have so many gimmick matches, especially on night 2. By the way, night 2 has so much gimmick matches. You have a no DQ match, a street fight, TLC, and a cage match. Well, like night 1, it's all like singles and tag matches. It's weird. But here's why. I originally had Lyra win, as I said. Then I saw what happened on Raw. Lyra not only beat up Becky pretty bad on Raw, I think Becky's going to retain, not because of the segment, but because of Bayley. She did an interview where she would look so sad and depressed that she's going to miss WrestleMania and SummerSlam this year. The reason it's a no DQ match is so Bayley can interfere and turn on Lyra Valkyria. I think because she was so mopey, so down, she's going to turn on Lyra. She's going to blame Lyra for taking her spot. And Bayley will cost Lyra Valkyria the match. And I do believe Becky Lynch will retain her Women's Intercontinental Championship from her fellow member of the Horsewoman, Bayley. Bayley will interfere and Becky Lynch will retain. I don't think Bayley and Becky are going to be aligned like Alexa and Charlotte are. But I do think Bayley will cost Lyra the match and Becky retains her title. And then, I don't know who Becky feuds with, but I think Lyra will feud with Bayley afterwards. Next, we go to the United States Championship, defended inside a steel cage. Solo Sikoa defends his title against Jacob Fatu. All right. I'll be honest, I don't want to watch Solo Sikoa. I think he sucks. He is one of the worst wrestlers in the company. His goalie heat with me, I think he's garbage. He's boring. He's overbooked. They try to make him like he's Samoa Joe. I don't see it. I think Solo sucks. I don't want to watch him wrestle in the cage match. The MFT is going to interfere. I don't know how this match is going to go. I think this is the hardest match to predict on the whole show, on the whole card, both Saturday and Sunday. I said the women's tag was hard to predict. I think this is even harder. Lyra Becky was also hard to predict. I think this is the hardest match to predict. I don't know. This is almost a coin flip. They just put the belt on Solo. From Solo's perspective, they put the belt on him. They have the MFT group. They just want to have Jacob win and be done with the MFT. Don't they want to build up the MFT as a group, as a top heel group on SmackDown? Why do they just want to have Jacob win and the feud's over? From these other Jacob side is, do they want him lose to Solo again on a PLE after he lost at Night of Champions? Do they want to give Jacob a big win? There's an argument for both sides. And I do want to see the feud end because I don't like Solo. But I do think the MFT is going to interfere, and that's going to play a part in the finish. I think Jacob does the moonsault from the top of the cage. He can't do the thing where he goes from one turnbuckle to where he goes up the ropes for the moonsault. He can't do that, obviously, on a cage. But I think we're going to get a super moonsault from a cage. But I don't think he's going to win. I think the MFT is going to interfere, and I think Solo Sikoa retains his U.S. title. He's not going to pin Jacob this time. He'll escape from the cage, and unfortunately, Solo retains his belt. Next, we go to the WWE Tag Team Championships, defended in a 6-pack. Tables, ladders, and chairs, TLC match. Remember? Tables, ladders, and chairs. Oh my. That was Mick Foley when he was general manager, when he booked the first TLC match at SummerSlam. which had Edge and Christian defending their titles against the Hardy Boys and the Dudley Boys. 25-year anniversary of that match. All-time match. That's my personal favorite of the 3 matches they had. I think it's a little bit better than the TLC match at WrestleMania 17 and better than the Triangle Ladder match at WrestleMania 2000. In this match, the Wyatt Six are champions. It's Dexter Lumis and Joe Gacy. They defend against Andrade and Rey Fenix, DIY, Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. I'm sure Candice LeRae will be in their corner. For Axiom and Nathan Frazier, the Motor City Machine Guns, Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin, and the Street Profits, Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford. I think B-Fab will be in their corner, so she might neutralize Candice LeRae. So not too much to say about this match. It's going to be impossible to top that TLC match from SummerSlam 2000, the 25-year anniversary. It's too tough to top that. It'll have a hard time. And it's also going to have a tough time topping the TLC match on SmackDown, which was the SmackDown after WrestleMania, which was Street Profits against the Motor City Machine Guns against DIY. An incredible main event TLC match they had. As I said, the match coincides the 25-year anniversary. Watching on the WWE Vault, they ranked it highly on their top 25 SummerSlam matches. There's going to be craziness. We know what's going to happen. Insane spots, table spots, ladder spots, chair spots. We get it. Wyatt Six, I think, retained this match. They win this match, and they retain their belts in this match. Next, the Women's World Championship defended in a triple threat match. We have Naomi defending the title she won at Evolution when she interfered after she cashed in her Money in the Bank briefcase in a match with the former champion Io Sky and the champion and the woman she beat to win her title, which was Rhea Ripley. So triple threat match, Naomi, Io, Rhea. I think the match should be great. I have no doubt it'll be great. Rhea and Io Sky have special chemistry together. They're like wrestling soulmates in many ways. The WrestleMania and Evolutions they participated in were fantastic. The Evolution match was incredible. The WrestleMania match, which was Bianca Belair, and a triple threat with Rhea and Io was freaking awesome. One of the best women's matches ever at WrestleMania. Naomi isn't as good as Bianca, so I don't see that match being quite as good, but it should still be a great match. It will deliver. Naomi, I believe, is going to win this match. I don't think she's going to lose this quickly. She's going to go on to face Stephanie Vaquer at Clash in Paris. Eventually, it'll lead to her facing Rhea Ripley at Crown Jewel in Australia. That's what I think they're building up to. Rhea Ripley will beat Naomi, I think, to win the belt at Crown Jewel, but it'll be a while. So I think we're going to have Rhea chase Naomi. For Io Sky, I believe Asuka and Kairi Sane, her good friends, are going to turn on her, and I think that's where she'll go next. But I do think Naomi retains her title in this triple threat match. Now we go to the main events. The undisputed WWE Championship defended in a street fight. John Cena defends his title against the man he defeated at WrestleMania to win the WWE Championship, Cody Rhodes. I think the John Cena heel turn has been a massive disappointment. WWE made 2 massive mistakes on the road to WrestleMania. First, the John Cena heel turn, not just that they turned him heel, how they handled it was just awful. The booking sucked. He was never on TV. And Jey Uso. Now, Jey Uso I've already complained about a lot. They fixed that problem and had Gunther win the belt back from him. Now they have to fix the second problem, which has been John Cena's reign, which he's been barely around for. The other thing I've really liked was the feud with Punk. That's about it. So the match, I believe, is a street fight, so they don't have to have a match. It won't be as bad as a WrestleMania match. Fuck Travis Scott. Just let me say that. Fuck Travis Scott. I think you know the message there. Who wins this? Again, there'll be bells and whistles, so Cena doesn't have to have a regular match. They'll use weapons. I don't think they'll bleed, but there'll be some good spots. Cody Rhodes is going to win. He'll regain the championship. Seth Rollins could cash in on Cody after he beats Cena, but I'm predicting he's going to do it on night 1 against Punk. Cody wins. He beats Cena. He's champion again. No double turn, nothing like that. Cody Rhodes is champion. Well, John Cena will turn babyface, and we'll see hints of it. It just won't happen exactly at this show, but I think Cena eventually becomes a babyface, and he goes out a hero when he retires in December. So Cody Rhodes will be your new WWE champion. He'll regain his belt. So with this card, let me just say, there's no excuses for SummerSlam to be a weaker show than WrestleMania was this year. It's one of the worst WrestleManias we've seen in a while. SummerSlam should be a much better show. I have no doubt it will be. I think if they have they must really mess up this show to make it worse than WrestleMania. I think it'll be delivered. I think the show will deliver. It'll be one of the better SummerSlams we've seen in a while. And because it's a 2-night SummerSlam, they're going to try to make it special. So I think this show will be very good. And I'm looking forward to it. We'll see what happens this weekend. when WWE puts on the 38th annual SummerSlam.